What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, StudioMaguyver, and you are listening to StudioMaguyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new to the show, welcome to the show. If you're into nerd culture, anime, and video games, we talk about all of that shit here. This is podcast number 228. Welcome, all my listeners. Today's show, we're going to be talking about a few things. There was a Nintendo Indie Showcase recently. I'm going to discuss that. There were some dope games on there that I'm looking forward to. There was also some shadow drops. If you don't know what a shadow drop is, it's basically a game that they announced and then is already readily available to you, and that's dope. So I'm going to get into some of that. Also, Back for Blood, there's an open beta. It should be over, I think, by Tuesday or late Monday. Gonna talk about that, played some of that. My anime watch list hasn't changed a lot, guys. I've been watching the same couple of animes. We're gonna talk about that, but I also have been watching some old Dragon Ball Z movies. I started watching them, so I'm gonna go on a run this next upcoming week and discuss some of that stuff with you guys. It's been a long time. I forgot a lot of shit, so that's interesting. But anyway, that is available. Then we also have a Dragon Ball FighterZ update. Yes, man, this came out of nowhere. I'm surprised I didn't see this shit coming, but it's a healthy surprise. Season 4, there's a lot of dope shit to talk about. I'm going to talk about some of that. And then there's a sneak peek. We have a sneak peek of Dragon Ball Super Chapter 75, guys. This is definitely going to be an interesting discussion because the new episode or the new chapter comes out later this week, and I'm going to get into that with you guys. Cannot wait. Really excited about the Dragon Ball universe right now, guys. I feel like I have a burst of new energy. Thanks to a lot of you guys who've been mentioning the fact that in the last, recent podcasts or so, there hasn't been a lot of Dragon Ball talk. So I decided to change that and make it more of a regular thing on the show, man, because it's part of the podcast. You know what I mean? It's part of what made the podcast pop, what made it popular, and with you guys. And, it seemed like to a lot of you guys that all I was talking about was gaming for the most part. I did talk about anime as well, other anime, but Dragon Ball was excluded, not purposely, but because there wasn't a lot of stuff going on. I just chose not to talk about things. But then I had to take a step back and assess the situation, and I realized that there's always something to talk about when it comes to Dragon Ball, especially when you're a fan like me. I just lost that connection, and I wanted to bring that connection back. So I'm all in with the Dragon Ball thing. There's going to be a Dragon Ball segment pretty much every podcast moving forward. Maybe small, but there will be some sort of discussion. So that is what I'm going to incorporate in this. Now, there may be a few episodes here and there that may not include it. Other than that, though, be looking forward to Dragon Ball talk every fucking episode, guys. So yeah, glad that makes you guys happy. It actually makes me happy as well. You know what I mean? It kind of feels like I've awoken a sleeping Dragon Ball giant within me. So yeah, definitely going to get into that. Look forward to that with you guys. And then also my honorable mentions. Last episode, guys, I stated that I was going to give you some honorable mentions. I had a top 10 Dragon Ball list of characters for you guys. I'll let you guys know all that. But I failed to mention my honorable mentions. And I listened to the podcast over again, which I normally do, to kind of critique myself and see where I might need to grow or need to change some things. And I discovered that upon listening to the episode. So I'm going to give you guys my honorable mentions that I left out last week. And yeah, it's a few characters, man. And a couple people probably heard this podcast and was like, are you fucking serious? You didn't mention this guy. You didn't mention that person. So yeah, I'm going to reassess that real quick for you guys as well. So let's begin the fucking show. And I want to start with my anime watch list because, I haven't been really watching a lot of new shit. I've been watching the same shit. There's one anime that I watch on a weekly basis, like gospel, and it's 86. And if you haven't seen 86, it's on Crunchyroll. That's where at least I watch it at. There's also an English dub available if you're curious. Great English dub, great actors. The show is just stupendous, man. I'm really loving the show. It's definitely becoming one of my favorite animes this year, and not just because it's shonen anime. Okay, to me, what I'm discovering with this anime is it's got the drama. It's like a super drama. Very well acted, very well written. man, I mean, I highly recommend this. I can't speak enough good things about this anime, man. If you haven't seen it, please check out 86. If you're looking for something new and maybe you haven't discovered this one yet, check this one out. It is it's fire. Okay, I don't know what else to say to you. I cannot wait for the next episode, and they always leave you wanting more. That's the dope thing about this anime too. So yeah, I'm a fan of this anime, and I cannot wait to see what happens, at the end of this story, for real. The other anime is definitely World Trigger, which I'm watching, still in season 1. Hadn't had a chance to watch a lot of anime this week because I've been doing a lot of gaming and things of that nature, and trying to get back on track on some of this other stuff I got going on because I'm pretty busy, have been as of late. But World Trigger is definitely dope. I've been seeing whispers out here in these anime streets about season 3, and I'm still on season 1, so that's cool. Just gonna take my time with that one. I'm also watching that on Crunchyroll as well. Also, there is an English dub for that if you're curious. So definitely, if you haven't checked out World Trigger, definitely something you might want to look at. Toy Animation is definitely behind the scenes working with this one. So all my Dragon Ball fans, hey, let's check this one out. So far, so good for me with World Trigger. So that's where I'm at. Next thing is movies. I posted, if you checked out my Instagram, which I haven't posted in a while on, which I'm going to try to start posting a little bit more frequently for you guys. But yeah, man, I have decided to do a little movie marathon. Didn't get far, you know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of stuff going on. But I did knock out the Tree of Might. It was one of the first ones I saw. It's a Dragon Ball movie pack. They usually typically have a lot of these where you get like 4 or 5 movies in one pack, which is a good deal. You can get these for like 15, sometimes $10 if you find the right dealer on eBay or something. You can find these very, very cheap, and I highly recommend all of them. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you're curious about the movies, if you haven't seen the movies yet, I highly recommend it. A lot of new fans or younger fans may not have seen all of the movies. You know what I mean? And that typically goes for a lot of people who watch certain anime. Like for me personally, when I first started watching Naruto, I didn't realize there were so many movies out, and I don't think I even still haven't seen all the movies. No, I haven't. I haven't seen a lot of them, but not all of them. So still want to see some of those. Want to get those out here. But yeah, same thing for Dragon Ball. A lot of people, I've seen all the movies, of course, but man, it's been years since I've actually seen them. I had to pull this out, knock the dust off of it, and I wanted to go back and look at some of this stuff, and I forgot a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I saw Tree of Might the other night, and I was claiming that Tree of Might was was my all-time favorite Dragon Ball movie. I'm gonna have to retract that for you guys because it upon further review of why rewatching, it's good, but it is not my favorite. And I had totally forgot about fucking Dead Zone. So I'm gonna have to go back and check out Dead Zone because I might have had those confused, Dead Zone and Tree of Might. So like I said, I'm gonna go back and watch these Dragon Ball movies. I'm gonna watch them all this week. I'm gonna try to knock them all out this week, and then I'll have a reassessment for you guys next week on this podcast, and we can discuss some of these things. It's kind of dope though, right? I'm talking about old Dragon Ball movies and watching them again and discussing them again. That's dope. I think that's a dope little hard reset, if you will. You know what I mean? Going back to movies, like I said, just enthralled in the world of Dragon Ball again, and it feels good. It feels good to talk about this with you guys. It feels good to just reminisce on some of the great moments in these movies and the history of Dragon Ball, period, man, and where it's going. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's safe to say for what we have, now currently with Dragon Ball and what we have coming down the future in the pipeline, because we do have a lot. I could have easily, when I decided to make this podcast, I decided that there's still so much to discuss. There's still so many things that can be done when it comes to Dragon Ball. If Dragon Ball Z stopped at the Buu arc, I could still go on and on and on and find things to talk about and discuss with you guys, concerning Dragon Ball. There's people who are doing the same thing for other franchises for less, with less episodes, and they're just super fans and they find ways to, make these things work. And that's all people really want if you're a fan of something for the most part. Hey, we just want to partake in some of these activities and talk about the stuff or listen to people who talk about the things that we love. So that's what I take pride in. Exactly. And it feels great. So yeah, I definitely want to get into some Dragon Ball shit, because there's a few things to discuss on this podcast when it comes to Dragon Ball, and it's going to be later on down the line in this episode and Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. But let's get back to my anime watch list, which I just discussed the Dragon Ball movies. That's a wrap. We're going to put a plug on that, and let's move on to Back 4 Blood. If you don't know what Back 4 Blood is, Back 4 Blood is a upcoming video game. I think it's coming out, I want to say September or October. It could be early 2022, man. These release dates are, I'm so mixed up with this shit. But anyway, Back 4 Blood is a first-person zombie apocalyptic shooter. I guess that's the best way I could describe it to you guys. But there's an open beta. There was an open beta this past weekend, and I think there's one more night. If you listen to this on Monday, I think tonight is the last night, and then it's over. I think it ends on the night. No, it ends after this weekend. So I think Monday's the last day. Okay. Don't quote me on that, but definitely double check that. But I didn't know about this beta. I completely forgot about it. A friend of mine reminded me. So I downloaded it, had a chance to play it. It's a pretty dope experience. I will give it that. I'm not into first player or first person shooters. That's not my favorite genre. But I gave this one a chance. And it is fun. Okay. It was fun. I still don't understand the card system. There's a card system that involves, giving you different stat boosts and things of that nature, and you can build a deck supposedly over time. If you find the cards throughout the world or whatnot, and you have money to purchase them, you can use them in your deck. You have stuff like increased damage or increased health, things of that nature, or giving your whole team buffs, in certain situations, all these type of things. But I still don't understand it. I guess I'll try to understand it, but the game is definitely worth playing. There are a shit ton of dope ass weapons. There's an area in the game where you can actually go. It's kind of like an open backyard. They have dummies and that you can shoot on, test your distance and your range or whatnot, and just try out how the weapons feel. All the weapons feel really good, man. They got a lot of dope pistols that I found that I really enjoy, man. And especially the full automatic ones, man. Like, just squeeze the trigger and just watch that boy pop. Beautiful weapons. A shotgun I found, one of these shotguns I found, it was like a tactical shotgun. It was dope. That's all I can tell you. And there's so many assortment ranges of shotguns and things. I didn't think that you could get the range that they have in this game with shotguns, but they do. Shotguns is one of my favorite weapons in this game, believe it or not. When you think of shotguns, for the most part in video games, you think of, up close, high damage, not a lot of accuracy, typical shotgun in video games. But these shotguns here, some of these shotguns made me change my fucking mind. Okay, seriously. And they had some range on them too. I mean, there's scopes you can put on them. I mean, yeah, pretty dope weapons in here, definitely. Now they do have friendly fire. I'm letting everybody know that. And, I'm not a big fan of the friendly fire thing. Even though you don't take a lot of damage from it, you still take damage from friendly fire. And when you shoot them, one of your friends or whatever you're playing with, they tell you, hey, they basically let you know, look, motherfucker, you're shooting at us, you're the wrong people, okay? And a lot of time you don't mean to, but when shit is chaotic and hectic, because it gets that way in this game, man, I mean, you're just trying to survive, so you're just shooting. And if your friends are in front of you, sometimes they get caught in the crossfire. I mean, you almost can't help it. I think that's why they made the damage so minimal, because there's so many times where you're maybe bottlenecking a pathway and there's zombies just pouring in. So everybody's staying away from the door, trying to catch everybody in, and everybody can't fit off to the side. So you have one or two guys in front of you, and you're trying to go over their shoulder and shoot the enemy, and sometimes you end up, they're moving around and they sway in front of your gunfire and get hit. So like, it's almost unavoidable, especially when things get chaotic and hectic. You're gonna hit your friends. You're just going to. So hopefully they put out something where that is not an issue. Maybe there's a card out there that you can get that won't make you have friendly fire. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something like that they can do. I don't know, but that's something I would definitely change in the game. Just me personally, but it adds an extra layer of kind of drama to the situation. But like I said, they're smart because they didn't make it highly damaging. If they did, everybody would be killing each other left and fucking right. Okay, period. And there's definitely ideas up in the air for trollers. People who want to, oh yeah, come play my game, invite me in and shit, and then just fuck with you all goddamn night. okay, shooting at you. Okay, or they're supposed to come save you and they walk up on you and they fucking, they punch your clock or some shit like that. There are people like that out there, guys, who just want to troll, and it is what it is. I mean, if it's possible in a video game to do, I promise you somebody will fucking figure out a way to do it. All right, and then some and beyond. But definitely had a chance to check this out. Back for Blood, the open beta. It's pretty dope. I actually enjoyed myself. Now, would I pay a full price for this? Right now, from what I played, no, I would not. But like I said, it's an open beta. Still lots of things going on. But the whole premise of the game is pretty dope. I may change my mind, but it's definitely something that if I had it, I would play it. And it's definitely fun to play if you have friends who have it. So if you have like, it was just me and one friend playing this, and we were having a blast. And the other two is four players at once. So you're a team of four, no matter what the situation. So if you can't find any other players, they give you bots. So you're running around with bots, and the bots are pretty good for the most part. We've had a pretty good experience. I mean, I gotta lie to you. There was a time where we were playing and shit got so hectic. I didn't know if we were playing with bots or not until I sat back and everything calmed down, and I was like, oh, we're playing with bots? These guys are bots. And I didn't notice a difference, but it's definitely worth playing, I think. And the way that the game plays is kind of like a continuation system. So you start off in a safe room, you run out, and you try to get to the next safe room, but accomplishing missions on the way. So you may have an objective to turn something on or whatever, but doing so may cause a horde to resurface. So like, hitting a car or something and sounding an alarm, that will cause a horde to come out, and you don't want hordes, okay? Because these zombies are pretty easy to kill, but they're very hard to kill once, you're overwhelmed, because when they rush you, and that's where shit gets dangerous. Okay, and then there's like these mini bosses, these other, zombies who are more advanced, if you will, and do higher damage, of course, and do other things to you. And then it gets also more interesting than that. So there's a lot of dope shit that in this gameplay loop, and you find your weapons out in the world. So you can test weapons out, so that if you find a weapon, you can say, oh, I remember testing this weapon, I want this weapon. The cool thing is, if you find that weapon, once you find it, it's yours for the remaining of the playthrough. So if you die or whatever, when you come back, you'll have that weapon. You know what I mean? So, and then you can find mods for that weapon as you proceed or whatever. So I like that idea of finding something and you like it and you keep it. And then sometimes you're torn because you're like, damn, I found this dope ass weapon, but here's another weapon that I really want to try out. Damn, I don't know what to do. But in certain situations, you can actually pick that gun up, which I have done, and run around with that gun for a little bit and realize, well, it's cool, but it's not what I want. The other gun you left behind is still in the same place, so you can run back if you can find it, pick it back up, boom, it's back in your hands. So I did that a couple times, actually. So like I said, the premise is pretty dope, and if you survive to the next room, gear up, get ready for the next horde, or get ready for the next objective, and wash, rinse, and repeat. So that is, I think, pretty cool. It gets harder and harder. You have more objectives to do, and things of that nature, and shit can get very, very hectic real quick. And I think you have like 3 continues, and once you use those continues, you're done. I think you start back from square one. Okay, so you want to get as far as you can with your crew as possible, and kind of you got to be strategic, man. Once you start learning to be more strategic, in other words, handling mobs, how to handle mobs, grenades, molotovs, things of that nature, you can actually set yourself up, and you can kind of take care of that. All right. Damn, it's already 5 o'clock in the morning, guys. Let me also say that I usually drop my podcast about 5 in the morning. That's when it becomes readily available. But it's going to be a little later today, so maybe about an hour, maybe hour and a half late. So you should be getting this podcast maybe about 6:30 in the morning, my time. Just letting you guys know and apologizing in advance. All right, now let's get to some juicy shit, and let's talk about the Nintendo Indie Showcase. I want to talk about that, guys, because it was a pretty good one, if you ask me. It was only about 20 minutes long. They had a lot of indie games, and a lot of people frown when they hear indie titles, but I smile because that is some of the best experiences for me. I love indie games. I love indie developers because they just make awesome games. There's so many games that we probably wouldn't even realize that you would think simpler, but sometimes simpler is better. Okay, simple is sometimes the way, to a man's heart. if you're talking about video games, at least in my case, because this indie showcase had some dope shit coming. Now, a lot of stuff that they showed, of course, isn't coming to 2022. And there's some that were shadow dropped, which they let us know are available right now as I'm speaking into this microphone. So I want to talk about a few of these, and one I'm really anticipating is a game called Bomb Rush Cyber Funk. All right, and the reason why I really want to play this game is 3 words: Jet Set Radio. Now, if you don't know what this game is, which a lot of you probably don't, Google that shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Just Google Jet Set Radio. It came out in a time where it was before its time, graphically, aesthetically. It was just a different look and bright colors, man. Beautiful animation. It was just before its time, and this game here just brings those vibes back. It looks like an open world kind of city, and you're an artist, graffiti artist. You're running around, and it's more to it than that. But all I can tell you is it's coming out 2022, hopefully first quarter. It's called Bomb Rush Cyber Funk. Google it, check out the trailer, check out some gameplay. I think you'll love it. And if you love Jet Set Radio, you're definitely going to want to get this one. This is definitely high on my fucking list when it comes out. And it's a timed exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. So they have a few of these. Nintendo has a few of these timed exclusive games. So definitely check this one out. 2022, it looks to be fucking awesome. Another game that they showed that I really fucking like is a game called Garden Story. Garden Story. It's an RPG, action RPG, believe it or not. And it's about you trying to fuck with gardens. It's more to it than that, but I don't want to, a lot of these games that they show, it was only 20 minutes long, so they kind of just breeze through them. They give you literally, 30, 45 seconds of gameplay and of kind of giving you a quick synopsis of what the game is about, but it's definitely aesthetically pleasing. It's up my alley with that 16-bit retro style action RPG type of a thing. This game looks awesome. It's already been shadow dropped, so it's available now. I'm definitely going to go boot up my Nintendo Switch because I haven't booted it up in a while and go through there and kind of tag some of these games. And most of them shouldn't be that expensive. I mean, I'm sure Garden Store may be $15, $20 or something like that. And then you can catch them on sales, Just periodically go in there, mark your favorites, and you're put them on your wish list, and then just go in there, I say maybe once a week, and check the games, even if you're not playing your Switch at the time, and then see what's available. You'll be pleasantly surprised sometimes because there's a lot of sales, and sometimes you don't get the news for it, and it's good to check up on it, and you'll get a lot of dope sales that way. I have like probably a couple hundred games on my wish list, so they're on there. So when the sales become available, and I can finally get curious enough to buy some of these other ones. And then there's some games that I find on sales and I've bought that I still haven't even played yet. They're sitting on my Switch now, but I have not played them yet. I just got them because I heard great reviews and they were a decent price, so I got them. And that's typically what I do, just building up that backlog. You know what I'm saying? So it's never bad to do that, especially Nintendo Switch owners, because shit, maybe you got to travel one day, an unexpected travel, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And you need something to wet your beak, and this is one of those things. Take the Switch with you. Oh man, I got 4 or 5 games here I haven't even played. There's some other games I need to go back to. I mean, for me, so many on the Nintendo Switch alone in itself, not to mention my entire fucking backlog. And I have a lot of fucking games that I haven't even played yet. Some are still in the fucking wrapper. So yeah, I mean, Monster Hunter Rise, I haven't played it since the fucking update. There's a lot of shit going on there. Monster Hunter Stories too, which is another game I fucking have been loving, but I haven't had a chance to play that. I've been all over the place. I've been busy. So I mean, it's kind of a good thing to have these games sitting there ready to go back to when you when you're ready, which is dope. So yeah, man, I mean, we live in a world now where that's where we're at. And that's a cool thing because I still don't have a PlayStation 5. So because I don't have one of those, and I won't be getting one anytime soon, what it looks like, I'll be enjoying all these games. So many things to enjoy for me. So that's cool. That'll get me through. And like I said before, it's all in the games. It's all in the games, guys. All right. Now, let's get back to this Nintendo Indie Showcase. Garden Story's dope. I'm definitely going to play it. I want to play this one, adding this one to the list for sure. And one more dope thing I want to mention, it's a side tangent for these indie titles. Most indie titles, guys, I love them also is because they don't take a lot of space. Okay. And that's mainly why I bought the extended memory for the Nintendo Switch, not for these AAA games, and even those aren't very big. But the indie games typically are pretty goddamn small, and you can basically put so many of them on a fucking card. I mean, almost limitless. You know what I mean? Over the years, it would take years to fill that card that I have up right now with these indie games. So that's cool as well. So shit ton of those. And let's move on to the next game. Another one that I cannot wait to play. This is coming out. I think it's coming out this year, 2021. Yeah, it says fall of 2021. This is a very interesting one. Art style is fucking phenomenal. I love games like this. It's a game called Toem, Toem, a photo adventure. It's basically an adventure game, and it has to do with photos. I mean, you're running around just taking snapshots, doing things for people. And on paper, just talking about it, it sounds kind of meh, maybe a little dull, but I highly advise you to check out the trailer for this game, and you may change your fucking mind. It's got it's the distinctive art style. It's definitely got that, and it's got a feel that you don't get a lot in games. It's very unique, and you see it soon as you watch the trailer. You notice it instantly. And for me, that's the type of thing I go for in games. It doesn't necessarily have to be an action game, you know what I mean, or a horror game, or whatever, fighting game. It just has to be intriguing, and this is definitely that, and this is definitely one going in the motherfucking library. I promise you that. It's called Toem, a photo adventure. Definitely check out this one, guys. I think you would highly enjoy this. Okay, all right, next one is Axiom Verge 2. Yes, I haven't even played the first Axiom Verge. I have it on my Nintendo Switch, but I haven't played it yet. It's one of those games that everybody sings praises about, but, you know, dope indie developer. Apparently they got another game, the second one, and guess what? They shadow dropped it because it's out now, currently, right now. So definitely check out Axiom Verge 2. The reviews are out. Heard great things about it. Definitely recommend this one, even though I haven't played it yet, but I think this is a game that if you're into those retro style games, Metroidvania-esque type of game, then you're going to definitely love this game. Okay, and it's right there for you. Graphics look dope, everything about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one as well, putting that one on the list. All right, here's another game that is actually shadow dropped. It's available right now, and I hear a lot of people talking about this game. The fun factor, especially a game called Slime Rancher. All right, now this is Slime Rancher Portable Edition, and it's out now on the Nintendo Switch. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I want to call it a shooter, but I haven't seen enough to actually be able to describe it properly to you guys. I think all I can do is tell you to check out the trailer, Slime Rancher Portable Edition. Just check out Slime Rancher, the series, if you're that curious, and you may find some dope shit. I think you will. So there it is. You have it. All right. Another game I want to talk about is Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. Now, this one is definitely going on my radar, and this is definitely being played. If you're not familiar with Yacht Club and those dope people over there who created Shovel Knight and so many games in that series, this is definitely something that they added to their collection, and I think this is the one that I've been waiting for. Okay, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. It's a mixture of those pocket games, kind of like Tetris style of games, and then it's also got like a dungeon crawling kind of aesthetic to it. Hard to explain, easier to see for yourself. Watch the trailer. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is definitely one of my most anticipated games. I cannot wait to play this one. I hope it comes out in 2021. I can't remember when the release date is on this, but I hope it's 2021. If not, hey, fuck it, I'll get it in 2022. It doesn't matter. All right, the last game on my list of games from the Nintendo Indie Showcase is a game called Eastward. Now, this is one I talked about before. It's been a while. I mean, it's probably been a good while, but it's a game that's been in development for a while, and it's now finally got a release date, September 12th, 2021. It's an RPG, action RPG, actually, and the graphics are, it looks 32-bit. I want to say 32-bit, could be 16, but beautiful graphics, beautiful, looks like it's going to be a dope story in here. I'm highly anticipating this game. It's definitely one I want to add to the library as well. Now it's got a release date September 12th, so definitely check out Eastward. The soundtrack seems fucking crazy, and I love video game soundtracks, guys. You okay? I love it. I love it. I love it. And this one is definitely up my alley. So yeah, check it out. Eastward. It's an RPG. It's coming out September 12th, and it was from the Nintendo Indie Showcase. All right, now we're done with that. Let's get into some Dragon Ball shit. Dragon Ball Fighters Season 4. I'm back in there, guys. I've been practicing the last couple days. I'm going to try to practice every day a little bit. Yeah, I know that's stretching it, but I'm going to try because the new update has been crazy. It's almost a brand new fucking game. Everybody's got fucking buffs. If you don't know what a buff is, it's a fighting term, which means pretty much everybody has gotten better. Okay, everybody's fighters have had things added to make them better, whether it's longer stun time, whether it's armor on certain moves. Everybody's got something. Okay, and as a whole, everybody's got something. And what I mean by that is everybody has now guard cancel in the air. So you can guard cancel in the air. It's dope. You didn't used to be able to do that. But the big one, the big macaroni that everybody's talking about is the fact that you can Z change from special moves now. So any special move that any character has, you can basically do a Z change, which is a tag move. So you can tag in one of your other players, one of your other characters from just any special move, which is dope. So basically they're adding so much. They're making it basically Dragon Ball FighterZ Turbo is essentially what this is now. It's just a souped up version. And I think that they're fine tuning it now. It's been like, man, how many years has it been since it came out? Like 4 years or so. It's been a minute since this game first came out, guys. And they're finally getting that sweet spot to where they want the game to finally be at. And I think this is, what they're doing now is setting us up for the next game, for the Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, what we're waiting for. I think that's what we're going to end up getting. And once that happens, we're going to get all these things for, I guess, hopefully these same characters that are available now. And then whatever they add to new characters, of course, they'll add and change some things up. But for the most part, a lot of these big major changes that I just mentioned, they're here to stay. And they're making the game better, and it's all better for that. You know what I mean? If you're a Dragon Ball FighterZ player like myself, a casual one, but I am one. Okay, and compared to a lot of these guys, yeah, I'm straight trash. But the game's so fun. It's fun to play, even if you're getting your ass whooped. And it gives you an incentive to go out there and practice your team and get a squad together and get better and all. It always feels good when you win a match that you didn't think you were supposed to win, right? So yeah, I've got a couple of new developed teams now, especially with the new buffs and things of that nature. And I'm trying some new characters that I surprisingly haven't really tried in the past. And my team now consists of, I have a team and I have an alternate character in that team. So my current team right now that I'm working with is Android 16, which is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. But he's also one of my favorite characters in this game. And for a long time, he got nerfed, and now he had a few things added to his character now. So I'm going to go back and put him back out there. He's just really fun to play, and I really don't typically play with bigger, characters in fighting games. But he's one of my favorites. So I'm using him. I'm also playing with Piccolo, which is a character I have not fucking played, have not learned in this game. Which you would think, why haven't you learned Piccolo? I don't know. At first, when I first started trying to play him, and this was years ago, he just seemed very tricky. I wasn't used to his play style. A lot of these characters are. I mean, the way that their moves operate, you got to get used to them. And that's all it is. You just got to get used to him. But he's an awesome character once you figure him out. And he got some decent buffs as well. But yes, Piccolo is definitely on my squad now. And he's a dope character to learn. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm figuring some dope things out. I really like him on the squad. So Android 16, Piccolo, and then the last guy is my boy, of course, the one don't say Vegeta, because just because he's my number one favorite character in Dragon Ball, yes he is, but the number two favorite character in all of Dragon Ball is Ten Shinhan, and that is my number one guy in this game. One thing I can say about Ten in this game is they did give him respect in this game. This is one of the only places he has so much respect, and a lot of people check for him in this game. Okay, he's dangerous in this game. He's one of the most dangerous characters in this game, the most well-rounded, if you will, characters in this game, man. He's definitely can apply that pressure to you. I mean, he's just his uniqueness and all of his moves. I mean, I love him, and I'm so glad he is awesome to play with. And even if he wasn't in this game, I would still be playing him in this game, guys, because that's how much of a Tien Shinhan fan I am. I am a super fan, and if you check my Instagram shortly, I'd say maybe the next week or so you'll find that out, because I'm redoing a few things in the man cave with some Dragon Ball stuff. I recently purchased a lot of Dragon Ball shit. Man, I'm talking about SH figure art shit, and those things are pretty expensive. I mean, they range from anywhere from 40, and they can go as high as $125. Okay, I went and push play on a few of these because the demand is not high yet, but they will be. So, there's some of my favorite characters, and I'll mention this in my honorable mentions as well. But yeah, I'll be posting these guys on my Instagram. They'll probably still be in the box, and then once I get everything set up and everything, then I will let you take a gander at those. But how many do I have? I think about 4 or 5, man. I'm not bullshit. I pre-ordered Krillin 2.0. If you're not a figure guy, you're not into collecting figures or whatever, it's basically a highly sought after figure. Because I don't even have a Krillin. I have one, but he's like very, very tiny. But I wanted one in my collection, this to scale in size with the rest of my squad. You know what I mean? With the rest of the Z Fighters. So this one is coming out, I want to say, beginning of the beginning of 2022. Yeah, he's coming out. But people are already scalping him already. So if you go online, they're already selling him for like $150 and shit like that. So people are pre-ordering him, which is retarded, and then they turn around and are selling it on eBay and fucking advertising this shit for scalping prices right now. And again, it hasn't even dropped yet. So what's going to happen is he's going to skyrocket in price. If you don't pre-order it, you're going to be fucked. If you wait too long after release, you're going to be fucked. That's just the world we live in now, guys. People are always trying to get over, and it is what it is. But I was able to pre-order them. I think regular standard price is like $50, around $50. But like I said, it can get stupid. I've seen them for going on like $200, some of these. Okay, now. And it happens quickly. If you don't jump on it now, that's what happens. So I pre-ordered him. I also bought, who else do I have now? Kaioken Goku. I have him. Which is awesome, which is my favorite version of Goku. I told you guys that. Why? And I didn't have a Goku before that, which is crazy. I also have, what else did I get? Bardock. Definitely picked up Bardock on a dope steal. I got my boy. I had to make that play. Mercenary Tao Pai Pai. I had to add that boy, man, that kill you on the back with the pink. The swag is dripping. It's dripping so hard. I'm sorry, but fucking Mercenary Tao's drip is entirely too hard for you guys, okay? But anyway, he's there, and I think that's it. I want to say. Oh no, I also got Piccolo. Yes, Piccolo 2.0. Yes, didn't have a Piccolo. I got to add a Piccolo. Come on, baby. The guy, if you check out the fucking logo, okay? Piccolo's there meditating. That's my boy. Got to put him in there, okay? And then I bought some custom things too, man. I mean, they have a lot of dope little things. Like, I needed a shirt. I'm really nerding out right now, guys, but I really needed a shirt for my Tien Shinhan, man, because he wears so many things. He can wear a t-shirt, he can wear a fucking tank top, whatever. So got that shit coming. Can't wait. I'm gonna add some photos on Instagram so you guys can check them out. But yeah, been doing a lot of that lately. Okay, very happy to have those now in the collection. And yeah, let's get to it. Gonna have a shelf dedicated to all the SH figure arts joints. Okay, the highly articulated boys, the creme de la creme, the high quality Dragon Ball figures, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, got to keep it going. But anyway, how did I even get here? I think I was talking about Dragon Ball Fighters, okay, the new buffs and everything like that. And then, yeah, I don't know how the fuck I got these figures. But anyway, I got them, and I'm excited to have them, all right? But everybody got buffed on the fighters in the game, and it makes the game so much better. I'm going to try to get good, but that is my team, my squad right now: Tien Shinhan, Android 16, and Piccolo. But I also have an alternate for Android 16, and you take Android 16 out and you add Bardock in there, and man, you got a super powerhouse of players. They all have a similar play style. In other words, how they start their combos. If you take Android 16 out, because Android 16 can't his is a little different than the other guys, but that's my alternate squad. Bardock is an awesome character, one of the best characters in the game, if you ask me as well. He's just dope, and a lot of people could tell you that. All right, he's very, very easy to play, and you can do a lot of shit with him, man. You can mix up. You can do so many great things with that character. I'm telling you, they made him awesome in this game. But anyway, that is who I'm running with. So looking forward to seeing new players, maybe players who are coming back to the game since the update or whatever. You may catch your boy out there running around. Look for a Jiren avatar running around, and if you see me, holler at your boy, okay? And please, if we do end up having to fight each other, don't take it out too hard on me. All right, I'm rusty, and I don't. Just basically what I'm saying is keep the butter. Can you keep the warm butter? Put to the side. Don't pull out the warm butter on me, and I think everything will be fine. Okay, all right. That's Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 4. There's so many other things they added, but not they're not worth mentioning. They're other minute things that by themselves don't really seem like much, but when you add everything up together, it just makes it for an awesome experience. And like I said, the game is awesome. It's even more awesome now. I think Jiren is one of the only characters who got fucked, who had the butter pulled out on him. And yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that because I was trying to, I played Jiren a little bit too, and I still have a couple teams with him on there. He's got a few little baby buffs, but one of them, was supposedly game broken, which I don't believe it was, but they claim that it was, so they took it away. All right. But anyway, there's Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 4. All right. Now, before I get into the last part of the podcast, which is going to be my Dragon Ball Super Chapter 75 sneak peek discussion, I want to talk about my honorable mentions real quick for you guys, because last week I did not mention them. Okay, I thought I did, but I listened to the podcast and I said, damn, I didn't mention my honorable mentions, and I had to put these in here. All right, because I'm sure there's people who heard that top 10 list and was wondering like, what the fuck? And that's pretty much anybody. 10 people could make a top 10 list, and I would probably be pissed at 2 of those or 3 of those people because they didn't mention a few characters. I'd probably be mad at all of them because most of them wouldn't mention 10 anyway. But you know what I'm saying? That's another conversation. But anyway, my honorable mentions, there's 3 of them. All right, and let me start with the first one. And I gotta say, Broly. I gotta start with Broly, and I'm talking about not Broly the old Broly. I'm talking about the new Broly, okay, from the new Dragon Ball movie. That is an honorable mention for me, and the reason that is because he's the Broly that I feel, everybody was waiting for, everybody needed. In other words, he wasn't that mindless hunk of meat running around who had just a bloodlust for Goku's death. Not him. Okay, this one has purpose. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. They did an excellent job on this character with this movie. He's one of the, believe it or not, more fleshed out characters in the Dragon Ball universe. Okay, you can just tell that when they made him this version, a lot of thought went into this version. This guy has a personality. This guy has a purpose. He's not just blindly, running around doing shit. Now he has rage. He's full of rage, which is always in Broly's genetic makeup. But there's more to him than that. Once you peel that layer back or whatever, you see method behind his madness, and you understand, some of what's going on with him. And that is why he is an honorable mention. If you haven't seen the movie, which most of us have, then you should definitely go see it. I mean, I understand why some people weren't able to, the COVID thing and all of that, and just hadn't got around to it. But I think it's out now. You guys can buy it, stream it, however you want to do it. Probably bootleg the shit, but it's out there. Definitely, I highly recommend it, and it's damn near 2 hours. So, a 2-hour Dragon Ball movie, come on, man. That's better than the Michael Jordan comeback. All right, there he is, Broly, the new version. Okay. Now, another honorable mention of mine is Trunks. I got to throw Trunks in there, and I know a lot of people were probably shitting on me because I didn't mention Trunks. What? You didn't fucking mention Trunks in there? Yeah, Trunks is an awesome character. He is. He's Goku's. He's Vegeta's fucking son. Anybody coming from Vegeta's nutsack is definitely going to be an awesome character in my book. There's just so many characters, and I wanted to stay true to my actual top 10. And if I was being honest, in my top 10, I mean, that's where my top 10 is lying. And Trunks just fell outside of that. Yes, he's one of my favorites, but one of my favorites, I guess you can probably put in maybe the top 20. Okay, because like I said, there's a shit ton of Dragon Ball characters. Even after 20 characters named, there's still so many fucking more. No matter how minute, no matter how big, that's the beauty of it all. Because I mean, I know people whose favorite characters are nobody, who are, these characters are like so small. The roles they play are so tiny, but that's who they love, and that's the beauty of being a fan of just a series and characters within that world. I mean, it could be anybody that resonate with you. It doesn't matter, big or small. You know what I mean? I like Kui, which is one of Goku's early rivals. Back on the Frieza days. You know what I mean? He used to always get into it with the first guy he basically killed when he hit Namek. All right, and I mean, I really like his character. I really liked him. I still do. So when you have characters like that and they resonate with you, I mean, that's part of the beauty of being a fan of these type of things. But Trunks is definitely in there. He wasn't in the top 10 though, didn't make the top 10 cut, but he's still in that top 20. He's still in there. All right, don't get it twisted. All right, but that's another character I failed to mention. But the last one on my list is one that I just brought up earlier, and I'm talking about Bardock. Bardock is that's the, I mean, the only guy. There's a lot of characters that look like Goku. Okay, Turles, you know what I'm saying? Goku Black. You have other characters who look like him, have his likeness and stuff. But this one here for me is the definitive version of Goku, and is his damn dad. Is his father. It's not the new Bardock. It's this Bardock, which is crazy to say. Love the old Bardock, but don't love the old Brawly. That's how I feel. There's a lot of Brawly fans who are super fans of Brawly, of the the older Brawly. You know what I mean? And that's fine too. If that's your flavor, I mean, that's cool. There's a lot of that they are, and I'm not trying to change your minds or anything like that. But that for me, Bardock for me is just he was a Saiyan's Saiyan. You know what I mean? He was the OG. He went out trying to accomplish something, and he did the best thing he could have done. He had sex with a woman who gave birth to somebody named Goku, and they sent him to Earth. Okay, and he survived. So without that, we don't have any of this shit. Okay, so for me just to say that is to say that that's enough for me for Broly. Not Broly. What the fuck am I talking about, guys? Am I that tired? I must be. You guys have to forgive me. It is 5:30 in the morning now, so I need to wind this down. But anyway, it is not Broly. It is fucking Bardock. All right, Bardock is another honorable mention, and I had to mention it for you guys. So there you have it. Those are my 3 honorable mentions in the podcast. Maybe I go back and do another list of the ones that didn't make the cut and talk about that. That's another show. That's another discussion. Cool. Anything that has more to do with Dragon Ball and it can segue me into another discussion, that's a cool thing, right? So there you have it. All right. Now the last thing I want to talk about, let me get to the meat and potatoes. The final piece to the puzzle is the Dragon Ball Super sneak peek of chapter 75. All right, everybody is, wondering what the fuck is going on with Vegeta. Is he going to win this battle? Because everybody claims, they claim it. It's true. I mean, let's keep it real with each other. Vegeta always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to the big macaroni out here in these Dragon Ball streets. And what I mean by that is he's never beaten like a main villain. Okay, Frieza, Cell, you know what I mean? Like the creme de la creme, Boo, all these guys, he's always come short. All right, it's always Goku to save the day, or even fucking Gohan. All right, so this looks like a win for Vegeta, and I only say that because I don't think this guy Granola is the main guy. Once again, I think there's somebody else out there, like the Hitas, or something's gonna happen. I don't know what they have planned, but this guy's not the last of the last. I don't think so. I think Vegeta's gonna beat him, and then he's gonna realize that, yo, we're not your enemy here, and you need to be focused on the bigger or greater threat here, and it's gonna be something else. I remember somebody mentioning that Frieza might actually be the villain to be dealing with now. I think the Heaters might get with Frieza, and then they might form a squad, and it could be something in that form. Who knows? I'm very excited about this arc. I thought I was excited for the last one, but this one is even better. And Granola as a character, man, I really like him as a character. I really like his design. I like pretty much everything about him for the most part so far. Is the plot and everything a little weak? Yeah, this guy just randomly finds these Dragon Balls, and it's only two of them, and that's all he needs to make this wish. And yeah, I mean, could we get more of a backstory on Granola? Or yes, we could, but I mean, his motivation is clear. His family, he's the last of his kind and of his people, and that alone would definitely fuel lesser men to go after that threat or whoever they consider to be that threat. So, like I said, it's interesting because we're seeing changes here. And anytime you have a new transformation or something like that, it's pretty interesting whether you wanted it or not, because a lot of people are talking about how all these transformations, can we just stop it, or can we hit some sort of soft cap for these characters? I don't know. There's a lot to be discussed here when you're talking about power levels and where things go. But since he wrote the Saiyans, I mean, he basically wrote his way into a corner, if you essentially want to call it that. He created somebody where you can't take it back. Now, there's a lot of characters he's created that he has made plot holes and huge plot holes with. I've mentioned those in the past. But Saiyans, it's almost like there's no way they can ever stop growing in power. And I guess the speed in which they do it, let me say that. Because even though there's a huge gap between them and the rest of the Z fighters, I think you can still close that gap some. I think, all the other fighters have still grown and grow every day. If you train, you're going to get better. I mean, no matter how small of an increase you get, it's still an increase, right? Compared to somebody else who maybe doubles or triples that at the same pace. Yeah, I can understand that, but there's still growth in these other characters. So, I mean, you saw it all the way to, I'd say pretty much after the Frieza saga. I mean, everybody grew. I mean, the Z fighters were beating up the Ginyu Force at one point after that training with King Kai. So, it's, in other words, just imagine if the Z team would have fought them then. Like, look at that growth. That is super, super growth. That's a lot of fucking growth. All right. And then it kind of, bottlenecks from there. But still, you can still have a lot of things happen, transition. And I truly believe that with the right writing, they can find ways to make this happen. And I talked about this before, guys. I laid it down. If you want to hear the last couple episodes, please do yourself a favor and check them out if you haven't. And I break down a lot of these things. I'm also working on a video, with one of the characters, and I'll let you guys know when that's available. So yeah, I'm going to be working hard on this video, and I hope it travels well. I'll just say that, okay? Because I'm putting all of my eggs in this basket. So, but as far as Dragon Ball Super Chapter 75, Goku got mopped up. He got mopped. He got the butter pulled out on him. But now everybody's putting their hopes and dreams into Vegeta, and hopefully he can get the job done, because this new form, which is pretty much the name of the title, the power of the God of Destruction. All right, Vegeta has finally found a way to unlock this power. Now, what does this power entail? Man, it's so many things. Now, from what he's saying in some of the panels, is that his new form gains more strength as his fighting spirit increases. So as his lust increases for fighting, which Saiyans have, no limit damn near with that. I mean, he's going to get stronger and stronger, kind of like Brawly, did in the movie, kind of like Incredible Hulk. The madder he gets, the fucking stronger he gets. And I don't know if there's a limit to that, and maybe that's part of that God of Destruction power, that key energy, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is right now. So I don't know the limits to this power, but right now Vegeta is showcasing some shit that we've never seen, and I cannot wait to see what happens next and really how he hones this, because this new ability is what it is. It's new. So I'm sure there's going to be some things that's going to need to be worked out, and I'm sure somebody may discover some sort of weakness in this, because if this was all it was, then it'd be over. Okay, the whole series would be done. So where they take this next is definitely going to be interesting, guys, and hopefully they don't write him into a corner or make him another joke, like they tend to do when they compare him with Goku. You know, hopefully Goku's not the one to save the day. Hopefully it's Vegeta that can actually save the day this time. And we'll see, though. Only time will tell, guys. I'm interested. I'm very excited for this next arc. And it comes out August 19th in Japan. So be looking out for, August 19th, excuse me, August 20th, somewhere around there. And I'll be ready and willing to discuss this next chapter. So next week, be looking out for it. I cannot wait to dive into this next chapter, chapter 75, and we can finally see, hopefully, what happens to Vegeta and what happens to Granola. Let's find out. Will Vegeta finish the fight? I hope so. Is Granola hiding something? Is he holding something back? I am not fucking sure, but we're gonna find out in a few days. So that is where we are on the Dragon Ball scene, guys. So many great things to look forward to with Dragon Ball, the new movie, all this stuff, and I cannot wait to discuss it with you guys. And on that note, I'm going to get my ass up out of here. But before I go, I want to let everybody know, check out www.studiomaguyver.com and make some great decisions, man. Check out me on my social media, my Instagram, my Facebook page. Download the Dragon Ball song, okay, which is a free download. All right. Buy a hoodie, buy a Warm Butter hoodie. Okay, there's a Warm Buddy t-shirt. There's a Warm Buddy hoodie if you want the hoodies. If you want a fucking coffee mug, go check it out. The official podcast, merch is there. So, yeah, man, anything you buy out there would definitely go towards helping this show. All right? And then also, there's another store that's available. It's only got one product in there, but there's a few products of that same product, and there's more on the way. I just finished up a new design literally today, so that should probably be going up in the next week or so. And I just have new designs. Hopefully, I'm going to add things on a monthly basis. That's my goal, to add new designs every month, whether it be one, whether it be 3 or 4. But definitely, I'm going to be adding more to the store. But check out DragonBallDrip.com. All right, DragonBallDrip.com. And you can definitely get some dope shit there. Okay, my interpretation of characters that I created in the world of Dragon Ball. It's basically what that is. It entails, okay? Other characters, they don't have any names. You guys don't know them, but it's characters, who would blend perfectly in the Dragon Ball universe. They could be villains, they could be heroes, whatever. They could just be regular people. It doesn't matter, but they go in the Dragon Ball universe. Yes, definitely check out DragonBallDrip.com, and more things coming on the way. So, yeah, show your love there as well, all right? With that being said, now I'm going to thank all my listeners. I'm going to thank all the new listeners who decided to listen to this guy bitch and moan about Dragon Ball and video games. I thank you. I hope to see you again next Monday. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. And all my OG listeners out there who've been listening from day one or just been listening for a while, I love you very much. Thank you for your support. The podcast is doing very good, and it's growing. It's always growing, and you got to love that shit. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here now. I'm tired as fuck. Okay. Good night. I love you guys. This is Studio Maguyver, and you have been listening to Studio Maguyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.